Well, we haven't been posting many videos lately because it's hunting season and it's the holidays and we've been busy. So we're going to do a little something for the Christmas holidays. I know what you're thinking. What's Christmassy? Is it a honey glazed ham? I know. Is it a Christmas goose? Well, no. What says Christmas in the holler better than boiled peanuts? I know we don't have these things up north, but in the south, particularly in the deep south, we have boiled peanuts consisting mainly of a pot of water, stainless steel, to keep the taking aluminum out, a little bit of salt, you may use a bay leaf if you like the flavor of bay leaf. A lot of people down in New Orleans like to maybe put a little bay leaf flavor to it. Some people just slip a little bit of red pepper powder in it, something like that, to kind of give it a little bit of wang. We'll put a little bit of that in there. And of course, you gotta have peanuts. And we'll put raw in the shell peanuts in there. Just put them in there, stir it up the water real good, get the salt, and then we have one last little trick. You might need one of these. This is a 304 stainless steel custom made weight, and we use this when we make pickles and kimchi. It's a little gadget made to got a little hole in it, let the water out, and what this does is weights down and keeps our peanuts underwater. And the only thing we do with this is we bring a boil up, bring them to a boil that dries that hot air out, and then we take them instantly off and let them cool down, which guess what? That makes it suck that salt water back into the peanut, because this is holding them under the water. And then we bring them back up to boil, and what that does is it helps make the peanut nice and tasty. And that's all there is to this little video. See you later. As you can hear and as you can see, we're beginning to boil, we're beginning to come up to temperature. You see a little bit of that red pepper powder floating on the top. You see how that weight holds the floating peanuts. See, they float up to the top, and it just takes a little longer to get that salt water into the peanut shell. And again, the concept, we're just going to boil them, bring them up to temperature. That's going to heat that air inside of the peanut shell up. That's going to make it want to come out. And then we're going to turn it off of the heat. Then it'll cool down, pull that salt water inside the peanut, then we're going to turn it back onto the heat. And see, in the south, in the summertime, it gets kind of hot. So yeah, you could treat them like a chitlin and boil the crap out of them, but that puts a lot of heat in your kitchen. So we do it this way, keep some of that heat down. Anyway, old habits is hard to break. Put a little bit of that bay leaf in the water. You don't have to do that. Just mainly it's just salt and water, but we like to add a little bit of red pepper, maybe just a tiny little bit of bay leaf. Again, that's optional. Not everybody wants to do that, but we do that. Now, for anybody who may doubt this method, let's take the top off. Now look here. Now we just brought this to a boil, and we have a little weight here. Now look, see me? I'm pushing down on this. This is as hard as I can push. And see how much water we had here? This didn't evaporate out. That's how much water, salt water, the peanuts drink. Now, we just brought it up to a boil, took the heat off, let the peanuts drink the salt water. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put some more water in there to make sure that we got enough to boil it. We're going to boil them until they get soft. That's all there is to it. Take them off and enjoy them. See, look. See, they don't want to float, do they? How about that? Now, while they're boiling and coming up to heat, let's watch a little video on smoking a ham. With Christmas coming up, I thought it'd be nice to show how to smoke a whole ham. Here we have a nice one. Only one problem is it's completely raw and still in the bag. So we need to take a small drill, clean off the bit, make sure it's nice and clean. You can use string, the cotton rope string. If you double it a couple times, I'm going to use a little bit of wire right here. And right here in the hock, we'll go in about that far, drill us a hole, we'll have something to hang it with. In a minute we'll take you out to show you the pit, because it's going to be a long day. We do the smoking wood a little bit different. Now I've washed the ham, I've got the wire hung, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim back a little bit of this skin on this ham. Now I'm going to take a little of that salt and I'm going to rub the ham down on both sides. Trimmed off a little bit of the excess fat, not much, just a little bit, and a piece of the skin. You don't want to take too much of that off, but I do want to expose a little bit more of the ham to the smoke so it doesn't have to just smoke up the skin. Now because this is going to be an all-day deal, smoking this ham slow like, I use big hickory chips. See, here's some over here. And then I use individual little wedges of hickory, and I like to set them up like in a U shape. I've closed the front of this U because it's kind of extra little cold out here for a smoking day like this. And you start out with a little slice of hickory tree like that and just bust it up with a little hand axe. No big deal. But if you pieces of hickory are little, they're going to smoke out all at once. If they're big, they're going to take a little bit longer to do. So that's what we're going to do. So now it is time to put the smoke pot in yon hole. And let's look, see about the ham. I set it off in here. It's hanging. Were it to fall off the bone, we got a rack to catch it with, so we ain't really worried about that. We've been on for 15 minutes. We're already beginning to see a little bit of color on the ham. Well, let's see what she looks like after an hour. Looks like the smoke pot's doing a good job. Yep, she's doing good. Still putting out a little bit of smoke. It's been 3 hours. We're right at the temperature we want to be. What do you think? Let me spin her around. This is 3 hours. I figure this is about halfway through. We get about 6 hours, we'll start taking a little temperature and seeing if she's done. We are minutes away from the table. We have deboned the ham. As you can see, it is missing. If you'll notice a little bit of the smoke ring around the edge of the ham. And we've plated a portion of it off. Look how dark the fat turns in the presence of that smoke. You can smoke them pretty heavy, yet if you look, we only have what, about a 3/8 of an inch of a smoke ring around there, but that'll do. And that's the final ham.